So let's just move on further towards the problems, and the problem number 1 says that a dice is thrown 1000 times with the frequencies for the outcomes as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as nothing but this one. As you can see, for the 1 it comes up, or it showed up 179 times, 2 is 150, 3 is 157, 149, 175 and 190. So the question says find the probability of each outcome. So we have to find out the probability of each outcome. So let's just start the solution for this one. So first of all, before answering it, we know that the total number of the trials are actually nothing but 1000. So the total number of the trials, is nothing but is equal to 1000. First of all, we know about this, and let us suppose we are taking the events as nothing but E1, E2, E3 and so goes on. So let us denote the events of getting an outcome as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as E1, E2, E3, E4, E5 and E6. That is, E1 means getting a number 1, E2 means getting a number 2, E3 means getting a number 3, E4 means getting a number 4, E5 means getting a number 5 and E6 means getting a number 6. Now let's just find out the probabilities of all. So first of all, the probability of E1 means getting a number 1. As you can see, the outcome as 1 frequency is nothing but 179. So this is nothing but 179 divided by the total number of trials. The total number of trials are nothing but 1000. So the answer for this one is nothing but 0.179. Now let's just talk about probability of E2. Probability of E2 means getting a 2. So this is nothing but 150 divided by 1000, and this would be nothing but 0.15. And further, if I'm talking about the probability of getting E3, this is nothing but is equal to 157 divided by 1000, which is nothing but is equal to 0.157. This is nothing but 0.157. Now let us suppose if I'm talking about probability of getting E4, it is nothing but is equal to 149 divided by 1000, which is nothing but is equal to 0.149. And further, if I'm talking about probability of E5, this would be 175 divided by 1000, and this is nothing but 0.175. Now let's just talk about probability of E6. As you can see, probability of E6, getting a 6 means 190. This is 190 divided by the total number of trials, that is 1000, which is nothing but 0.190. So these are nothing but the probabilities of all the events, or all the outcomes that we are getting in this particular question. And furthermore, we can also check whether the answer that we are getting is correct or not by adding or taking the sum of all these events. So let us suppose if I'll sum up all these events, if I'll get an answer as nothing but is equal to 1, then definitely my answer is correct. So plus E3 plus E4 plus E5, and further we have E6. Let's just sum up all these probabilities. So we have 0.179 plus 0.150 plus 0.157 plus of 0.149 plus of 0.175 plus of 0.190. Let's just sum up all these values and you will definitely get the answer as 1.000, which is nothing nothing but definitely is equal to 1, and thus the sum of all these probabilities are nothing but is equal to 1. And moreover, you can also find out that all these probabilities are actually lying in between 0 and 1. You can see over here, this is in between 0 and 1, this is in between 0 and 1, this is in between 0 and 1, this is again in between 0 and 1, 0 and 1, and further 0 and 1. So after looking at all these probabilities, we can also deduct that all these probabilities are lying in between 0 and 1, and furthermore, all these events are actually covering up all the outcomes. Again, this is the result which is actually related with our special note, that first of all, the probabilities of all the events are lying in between 0 and 1. The sum of all the probabilities that we are getting is definitely 1. And the other thing is that the events that we have over here, they are all they are covering all the possible outcomes related to this particular experiment. So this is nothing but the answer for the question number 1. I hope all the steps related to it is all clear to you.